And to absolutely no one's surprise, teachers, top list of workers putting in the most unpaid overtime, costing them an estimated 15 grand in lost earnings. Find a new analysis. Yeah, but what about all those holidays you get? Those holidays will only make up a fraction of the unpaid overtime teachers put in during term time. Let's not forget that most teachers end up working during the holidays to then get done all the other work they didn't finish during term time, but only if they were given that 15 grand, eh? Maybe a lot more teachers would be able to afford holidays abroad during the holidays when it's ridiculously expensive. Now, whenever I make a video speaking out about some of the negative sides of education, I will be inundated with comments from those who have never worked in education and work in other jobs saying, well, we have to do overtime as well. I know, this isn't a competition. But if it was, 4.4 hours is the average overtime across all employees. That jumps up to 26.3 hours for teachers. Now, this video is not to sort of celebrate or sort of brag or see this as some sort of badge of honour, because it's not. And this amount of unpaid overtime teachers are doing has to stop. The point of what I'm making this video is, of those unpaid overtime hours teachers are putting in, what frustrates me the most, and this is why I speak out about it all the time, people often comment going, God, all you do is moan about teaching. I love teaching. I love the contracted hours of being in class with the children. It's all this nonsense I can't stand, because do you know what? The majority of the overtime that's unpaid teachers are doing has absolutely no impact on teaching and learning. A lot of it is because as a profession, more now than ever before, we are simply not trusted to do the job the vast majority of us are capable of doing. So most of this time, this unpaid overtime, equating to that amount of money, is just being spent on, dare I say it, pointless paperwork and admin to sort of prove that we're doing the job. And because we have got the likes of Ofsted breathing down our neck, who have increased workload exponentially with their expectations of how now you're not just a teacher, you've got to be an expert in a subject that you lead across your primary school, even though you may well have not studied that subject past GCSE, it's gonna make that go through the roof. Here's the thing, I've never come across a teacher who isn't willing to work hard. We will graft to benefit the students in our class. But I'm telling you now, most of this has no benefit. That for me is what needs to change. That is what's creating an unsustainable job for so many educators, meaning we are seeing record number of teachers leaving the profession year on year. Obviously there's other things, pay, the behaviour of some students, etc. But that is one of the biggest reasons. Workload is still the main reason why so many teachers are either leaving the profession or seriously considering leaving the profession. And I also want to finish off by saying, this is not an expectation. Should not be standard. Don't think you have to do this as a teacher to be a good teacher. You don't. You can be a really, really effective teacher and have a decent work-life balance. That just proves how broken our education system is and how there needs to be significant reform to make sure this doesn't continue.